guys, what did you think of Ryuden taking the juryo Yusho? John, what was your thoughts on that, mate?
Well, at first I feel sorry for whoever would have won it if Ryuden hadn't been naughty.
Yep.
And that must really piss them off, because every rishi only has a very limited opportunity to win a Yusho, but some bastard comes down from the top divisions because they can't keep it in their pants or can't follow instructions. And but I mean, he looks determined. He's hit the ground running, and he's being another hubby. I mean, it's his second championship because he got the Makushita on the way up as well. Nice. So yeah, his he almost looks like an indigenous American Indian, don't you think, with his face, and he's got this determination.
He does have a very sharp look to his face, if that makes sense. So I would agree with what you say about his facial features, and I also agree with what you're saying, mate. That was a great answer, and it was to a T. The amount of guys whose opportunity has escaped them, we not only Ryuden, but a few of the guys falling back down so far. And it won't be long before Asana Yama comes back and wipes the floor with everybody and takes the next lot of championships, whatever division he's in. Let's face it, that's what's going to happen. And and Mika, I already know that you agree, because me and you talk about this all the time. It's a major issue that we discuss on the news as well. So I would love to hear your opinion, even if it's the same as ours.
Well, my opinion is I hurt myself after Enho won against Ryuden. I was so ecstatic that at least somebody had taken him down for at least one bout, so I wouldn't have another Zensho Yusho. I was clapping so hard I hurt myself.
Oh,
so
not self-harm.
I'm afraid so. I have to admit, I was pretty devastated on day 15 when Midoriya lost against him, because I really wanted that last-ditch playoff against Midori Fuji, and Midori Fuji coming up triumphant. Yes, I know he's also a former Makuchi guy, but I love my little guys. That would have been so epic.
And he didn't do wrong and went barreling down the Banzuki either. Do you know what I mean? So your point stands, because Ryuden done a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have been doing, and so did some of the other guys, like Abe and Asana Yama and things like that. So, I mean, Midori Fuji, when he fell down a bit, he just done it losing rank. He was fighting on, he was injured, do you know what I mean? So it is different, mate. It is different.
Yeah, exactly. Midori Fuji took time to get that surgery on his back.
Absolutely.
So, I don't feel like he would be stealing the victory from anyone, because he's still recovering from back surgery while doing sumo. But it would have been epic.
Well, no, but was epic. The whole Basho for Makuchi. The top division bouts for practically, I would say, 90% of the Basho was just unreal. The skill and technique on display, and the dogged determination for some of the guys. And I feel like, see, when everybody realised Terunofuji was hurt and then he pulled out.
For me, honestly, the Basho, I wasn't that excited about Makuchi until Terunofuji left.
Well, two different people I was speaking to at the beginning said that sumo was actually, like, they were a wee bit, I don't know, maybe burnt out for all the excitement of Hakuho retiring and Terunofuji becoming Yokozuna and getting a couple of Yusho under his belt. And see, by the end of it, they were sending me voice notes going crazy, all hyped and excited, and that was a testament to the excitement that happened. So let's start talking about some of the guys and some of the guys that stood out. So first, I want to personally mention Tochinoshin, because although he's fell down the Banzuki and he hasn't been doing great, he managed to muster up 9 wins this time and did all right. So you can just imagine that all the Tochinoshin fans are still going after nut right now about that. What did you think his performance overall?
Generally speaking, I'm not a huge Tochinoshin fan, so it is nice seeing him get 9. I am a little over him doing forearm shivers at the start of every bout, but I mean, it works for him. So I guess we'll see.
John, any wise words?
I find it a little bit hard to get excited by him because big man, big lift.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel sorry for him because, I mean, not last I saw him, but I imagine I was at the same World Championships in 2005 where he was there, and I remember him from the opening ceremony, and I'm trying to think of what life would be like if I stayed in Japan and never came back. And he's obviously keeping his career going as long as he can. Probably doesn't want to go back to Europe at this time anyway, or at least that side of it. And so he can't do things that are too fancy, and he is just using his size and power to push people out or lift them up, and that doesn't excite me because I've seen it for so long. He's been going since was it March 2006? So I've seen a lot of it. It just he has got a few Fighting Spirits Award and outstanding performances and a few even technique prizes, but now I think he's fighting the spirits. When you lower down the Banzuke, that does, and there's no Yokozuna, and there's Karobano Zeki everywhere, and brand new mammals up in the Sanyaku. Yeah, the time to do it is when there aren't all the big rivalries formed, and there aren't very experienced Rikshi that you're contending with every time. He's 34, and that's already past his expiry date. But as long as the fans still like it, he can keep doing it. But he's just showing up to the Basho these days.
Aye, that's a fair answer, mate. So, guys, something I want to bring up to you that happened near the beginning of the Basho when Ishiura got quite injured and hurted his neck in the Tachi. You seen his face wince straight away, but that's really not the point of why I'm bringing this up to you. It was comments that Mainoumi made after it while commentating. So I would like to know your opinions on that, guys. And if Mika, you could do me a favour and tell everybody what he said.
Right. So during the commentary, he basically said that Ishiura stayed on the ground too long, that incidents like that cool down the excitement of the room, and that's bad for the customers. So Ishiura should have gotten up quickly, bowed, and left.
Oh God.
I think we know pretty well that maybe if we don't know what's wrong with them, and it could be a neck injury, maybe we shouldn't hurry them off the dohyo, or below the dohyo in this case.
Absolutely.
You don't mess with neck injury.
Not with necks. May I remind everyone listening about Hibikaru? You know what I mean? A huge deal was made about that, and this is exactly why Mainumi's comments were so shocking and ignorant. That's straight what they are. John, I'm sure you've got much to say on this, mate. I want to know what you've got.
Yeah, Mainoumi is, he might be fondly known as the mighty mouse, but to the Rishi, he's a bit of a mighty dick.
He's a wanker.
He's not nice to them, and he's one of the fishermen that every time he tells his tale about the fish he got, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, he was small, he was Enho sized, he was very good, got up to Sekiwake, but he's very derogatory to them, and he's not being nice. It's a little bit more about him, which is strange because he does have a bit to offer. He was known as the department store of techniques and things, and he was one of the few smaller ones which made him stand out a lot more. And now we're privileged to have what I call the rise of the mammals. The megafauna is on its way out, and we're getting some really exciting sumo. They're more agile, they're faster, they got more charisma, and they might have a few bad days, which people hammer them for, but it's the good days are worth it. And we saw a Yusho come from the alpha mammal. Laka Taka Kage. That was just unbelievable the way he got out of the way for the Yusho. And now Mainoumi, I didn't see him get up very quickly when Konishiki squashed him. A short memory there.
Yep.
I know he's on air, he's been trying to be controversial, but he goes around to the hair and sits there and has his own opinions, which the Rikishi don't find encouraging.